Okay.
Hello,
Then
everybody.
we're
How
switching.
everybody's doing?
Hi.
Yeah. We can continue speaking Hebrew, while people load. I'm just joking. So I'm here with Yuri Kurlianchik, and we are gonna react to Yuri Bezmenov. He's gonna talk about the KGB and all the kind of subversion methods that were used to create the world that we're currently living in, unfortunately. But I have something for you to react to before we start. Brace yourself. The audience as well. What you're gonna see now is absolutely horrifying, devastating, terrifying. I cannot even start expressing like how many emotions I have.
Sounds interesting.
All right, it's in Hebrew. Let's try to translate it, but I want your reaction first.
Yalla.
To see your, because I didn't see things like that before. Do you see it?
קווירית מבוא לפילוסופיה פמיניסטית מחשבות נשים, תלם ולואיז באקדמיה, השם ישמור. כשקרימינולוגיה פוגשת מגדר, על רקע רומנטי סוגיות מגדריות בספרות מתח. קץ מסורת עולם, אי שוויון מגדרי בעולם קפיטליסטי, וואו. מבוא לפילוסופיה של המדע. Okay, the last one actually sounds sane.
Okay, so we need to explain. Okay, but first, your reaction, your feeling. Do you understand what you're saying?
Yes, and I am not surprised because
look at this crap.
I used to live in Ramat Gan, and I would hang out with this kind of people, and I knew exactly the kind of brainwashing they were getting. And actually, today I had a new student in class, and we were talking about vampires. And I said, the vampire is coming to the village, he's killing people, he's taking all their stuff. It says, oh, it's like capitalism.
No.
And it's like a 14-year-old girl. And she had like a bracelet with which had the gay symbol, the trans symbol, and the black right symbol. And I thought, like, the thing you have around your like arm, do you know what all those things mean? And she's like, it's justice.
Justice. Everybody, we're gonna translate what we see and explain what's going on in a minute. But before that, I have to say, like, how did you react? Because my tolerance level is so low. I can tell you that I was looking for like an organization to donate to, like because like October 7th is coming up. So
yeah.
In that, so I asked my friends, and one answered, "Oh, here's an organization, and they do what the government didn't." And it's like they do events, all right, events for those who survived. And I was like, before even clicking it, I was like, if it was the government doing that, that would have been called communism. And I was like, I just her saying that they're like this organization, they do stuff the government doesn't, in like this critical tone. I was like, thank goodness the government is not doing that. In fact, I want them to not. It's like those are things that's supposed to be on the private sector. Can you imagine how horrifying that would be if all those
it's closer to doing October 7 than doing something against October 7. Like, that ideology is part of what energized October 7.
And I was thinking, like, first of all, like, I don't want to say what I really, though I'm so bad at hiding my thoughts. I have a friend that I don't know how she likes me still, even though she knows I call her an idiot. Like, I thought I managed to hold it in, but sometimes she makes those type of comments that make me more roll my eyes and like think idiot. Apparently, I don't only think it, I also say it out loud. And she still likes me. It's I was like, you know what? Like, I appreciate it.
I used to call these people idiots, but I more and more think that they're not idiots, they're evil.
No, they're idiots. The girls I think of, like those I have in mind.
Okay.
Like, they're genuinely stupid. Genuinely. Like, really idiots. I think if you like sit with them and explain to them and maybe like, Like they would never
I think most of the
think
people,
that.
they're not stupid. They're bad. They're bad people.
Yeah, but I think that when people say things
I
like,
don't think they're
"Oh,
stupid.
the government didn't like give the help that this organization is giving to the survivors," they don't have the instinct to understand that this is communist ideology, thinking that the governments should have that kind of reach.
Yeah.
Like they don't understand what is the implication
yeah.
of it is.
Yeah, we have to remember Israel was created as a socialist country. Like the basis of this country is socialist. Like if you look at Ben Gurion, Berel Katzaner, they were all hardcore socialists. So
Yeah,
like
it was not a
in
good
Israel, it's
idea even
always
here.
capitalism khaziri, always is like pig-like capitalism, and always like I'm hungry. Where's the government?
Yeah, well, not under my watch.
That does not surprise me at all.
All right, so let's explain what is this abomination that we're seeing on the screen.
Because
so this is my
not
sister.
just the education system, the whole ambience supports it. It's like I saw
I know it's all the kibbutzes that
Twitter post by
were
someone who was
crying
angry
when Stalin
that a
died.
civilian with a gun neutralized a terrorist, because he said, like, why do we have to defend ourselves? The government has to defend us. We are the new generation, I think.
Like, do they understand the implications of it? Do they understand that you have to pay salary for people who only would have a job once in a lifetime? If you work like that. Oh no, Uli, you're gone. Come back. All right, let me explain real quick what's going on. So this is the these are optional electives that were presented to my sister. Now, not everything here is in the same sort of spirit, because I think she chose certain scope of classes to take photo of, because the last one here is clearly unlike the others. So here, welcome back.
Sorry.
So this says Introduction to Queer Theory, Introduction to Feminist Philosophy, Woman Thought, Thelma and Louise in Academy, When Criminology Meets Gender, Is It Romantic, Gender question, like gender issues, or in
issues, thriller,
issues money makes the world go round. Oh my god, I cannot.
Inequality in a capitalist world. Sorry, gender inequality in a capitalist world.
What is this? This is horrifying.
And it's 2 hours per week for half a year. Yeah, for a semester.
Well, I hope my sister did not choose those electives. Like, and the message down here is like, how do you know that I'm starting studying in Tel Aviv University? Throw up face. She's so cute. Actually, she was like.
I studied in Tel Aviv University, and I even have like a liberal arts degree, but I didn't study this bullshit. I mean, you can study real things, actual history, actual literature, actual theory.
Can you guess what's her actual degrees about?
Is she doing those as electives? Like
those are electives.
Useful? Medicine? I don't know, something real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Biology.
What the heck? No, she's dentistry, medicine. Like,
okay.
What the heck?
I guess right.
I was like, why?
It's interesting that I used to date a girl. She came to Israel from the Soviet Union, and her grandfather, he was a school principal, and he had a degree, a third degree. He was a professor of scientific atheism. He was a professor of atheism. He spent like his whole academic career studying and teaching atheism, like actively. So it wasn't just a course. The guy had an entire degree in that. So like we are importing the Soviet Union in its purest form, but we're making it dumber and gayer, like in South Park, make it lame and gay. But that guy, he probably studied after World War II. So even then you had and they studied ideology. He studied Marxism, Leninism, and atheism. They would sit in class day after day, year after year, and study atheism. What is there to study? I don't believe in God. So he spent 7 years studying that in the Soviet Union. And then he became a school principal.
Well, I just don't know how to react to that. It's like, all right, maybe I can't. What can I say now? Maybe I understand better why I have so many friends who are. By the way, you know what my sister said? I'm so lucky she doesn't watch my videos though. She said I know. She says I talk about politics and it's boring. And then after she said that, 2 sentences after that, she said, I'm very stressed about going to this starting school because I'm afraid there are going to be so many leftists.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. One time, there was when there was the war in, I don't remember which one. I'm thinking another war in Gaza or maybe Lebanon. I don't even remember. I organized a little counter protest against the leftist protest. They were protesting against the war, so I had a pro-war protest, and I just went around people in my who also studied English, and just telling I don't have anything planned. Let's just go there and do a spontaneous counter protest. And it's funny, almost all the people who joined me weren't Jews from my class. They were Arabs, Christian Arabs, Druze. And and the only Jews who joined me were Russian speakers. So where are the suburbs? They're we are Christians, Russian speakers, Muslims, Druze. We're protesting against the suburbs.
Do you know what I realized? Something? Could it be so? I don't really believe in God, but some things make me skeptical about my non-believeness and my cynicism. As I think, how convenient is it that when the Oslo Accords were brewing, this is when the USSR fell, and 1 million of Jews who weren't, let's say they had the experience of communism, had moved to Israel and shifted the population significantly to the right. Because my parents, when they came, they were okay, so it's it's the Oslo Accords. They were horrified. They were horrified about what's going on, right? About what they're seeing, their country being sold. But and then the funny thing is there were so many protests here in this country of people who were so unhappy about those Russian Jews, the Soviet Jews, who are so they're so extreme in their views, right? Shifting all the politics towards the right. And I mean, when you have 1 million people coming, that's significant. Listen, they were in the beginning, they were a lot more right than they are now. They were a lot more to the right than they are now. Obviously,
Israel has left and extreme left. So when we say right, we mean the right of the left.
I mean, back then it was right, and then people shift and adjust to what's available.
Yeah, was Sharansky really right?
No,
I don't think so.
But he wasn't.
Maybe Lieberman is more.
Yeah, but it's from what I remember, though, it was a lot more on the let's say compared to the local population. Doesn't matter. The effect was the same. Horrifying with the Oslo Accords.
I think it's even less about left and right. I think that people from the Soviet Union they're more comfortable with the use of force Because in Israel, you have to talk, and some of the Soviet Union says, no, I don't want to talk.
No.
You want war? Let's go to war.
These assholes, the left-wing assholes in Israel, they are very comfortable with using force, but only against their own population.
They are, but
they are not
they don't
willing,
say it. They never say that.
But they do it, and Ben-Gurion did it. Luckily, yes. He also got rid of the communists that way. Thank goodness. Smart of him. You know, he sent.
Then again, if we were communists, then there wouldn't have been a single Arab in this country. Because if you read Beryl Katzenelson, he said we have to kick out all the Arabs.
Yeah, they were the most.
I think
it's the Lehi. Was it the Lehi or the Etzel that were communists?
No, the Lehi were they were right wing, very right wing.
So the Etzel were
communists. Were more left wing.
Or the the Palmach then? One of those.
Yes,
was
the Palmach were far left.
Communist. Okay, but they were just as extreme.
Everyone was extreme back then.
No, because the mainstream Haganah wasn't.
The Palmach came from the Haganah.
So no, one of them was extreme and leftist. I don't remember which one.
I would say.
And there was a split. There was one of them that went very right wing and very left wing. It was the same organization in the beginning. Don't remember anyway. Doesn't matter.
That's Lehi and Etzel, yeah. The Stern gang.
No, so one of them was communist.
But anyway, the thing is,
Ben-Gurion did smart. He sent all the communists to the front line to get rid of them. And they'll say me what?
There was a communist party after Ben-Gurion. There is still a communist party. Israel has a communist party. People tend to forget it. We have a communist party right now.
Not as strong as
there are
and it could have been way
communists in the Knesset. They don't often use the word communist, but Hadash is officially a communist party.
No, they say they're communist.
Say Marxism, Leninism.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
But the greatest threat are the communists who don't know that they are communists. Like this 14-year-old girl, this very nice 14-year-old girl.
Like my friend who says things like,
pro-communist
why doesn't the government do it?
Yes.
Or all those that say, why doesn't the government do this and that? You idiot, you don't want the government to do those things.
Someone told this child that capitalism is something which it is not. You can be critical of the system and say capitalism is taking away money by force from the peasants. That is objectively incorrect. And, other kids in class corrected her. One of the boys said, no, that's feudalism. It's a completely different economical system. It's not a political system, it's an economical system. And these are 14-year-old kids. I mean, they're not very young. They're not babies. They have political thought.
Yeah, but they're not that old either.
Yeah, but someone actually gained access to them and made this very perverse worldview the default. It's cool to hate capitalism. It's cool to talk about this weird gender politics. It's cool to hate all traditional values. That's the biggest threat. They don't call themselves communists. They have been subverted, and they don't know that. That's the biggest problem. And it's like Antonio Gramsci said, give me your children. We're going to take your children, the famous Italian Marxist thinker. We're going to start with your children. That's how we're going to win you. So you can't have a revolution in a capitalist system, but you can subvert a capitalist system, and then you won't need a revolution.
But I think it's so easy to, but here's the thing, how our brain is kind of, at first, is more communist-oriented to begin with.
Yes, because communism is based on family dynamics. It's trying to take family dynamics and apply it to millions of people, which obviously doesn't work because at some point, quantity turns to quality. You have a different quality because the quantity increases.
Yeah, exactly. So it's obviously, this is the starting point, and then it breaks. But yeah, definitely. 100%. So it's easy. So it's easy to sell them. No, to me, it's more fearful when an adult says something like the government should have been doing this or that. This is what scares me more.
It's basically wrong thinking.
No, because it's scary. Okay, so like you said before, like, oh, the government is supposed to be the one doing the protection, okay, not the civilians, like you said. So this person, right, who carries a gun would have to use it once a year at most, right?
Once, more likely once per life, I think.
Exactly. But you would have to pay him the whole life, his whole life, if you want this person to be part of the system. For this one shot, instead of like letting like civilians, like they don't.
And in any case,
the
government can't be everywhere all the time.
Well, there are so many reasons, but like the most basic one is like, can you imagine that person would be in a payroll like all the time for this once in a life shot? He volunteered to do it freely. Come on, let people do things out of their goodwill. It doesn't make sense. It's like it creates this fake jobs, fake everything, fake productivity, fake numbers on the unemployment list. Uli, you're stuck. Are you here? Right, let me see what Shana wrote. By the way, everybody, like, comment, share, and we're gonna start reacting to Yuri Bezmenov soon. So why do you think Jewish people tend to lean left on average? I think, why do I think Jewish people tend to lean left on average? Because, do they though? I think maybe.
In the United States, yes, definitely.
Why do they, like, do they, like, they're not, because they're neither nor or. There are a lot of social laws, but in the Torah, what they do smart is that in general, it's direct, right? It's from people to people. A lot of the commandments of when it comes to charity, and it doesn't go through the government. So you have that system that is separate from what the government is, with like imbued into, even when you leave 10% of your crops, right? In the Bible, people would come, the poor people would come and pick it up directly. It doesn't go through the government. And I think for a lot of people, somebody didn't do the very important job of sitting them down and explaining to them that there is a big difference between direct and through the government. And do not mix these two, ever.
Also voluntary and mandatory.
Yes, but some of it is mandatory. Like 10% is mandatory. I'm
talking about today, like we no longer have a temple.
No, the 10% is not for the temple, it's for the poor.
Yeah, but if you don't have an enforcement mechanism, then by definition it's not mandatory, because there is no...
They still do it because it's like you cannot get kosher.
Yes, but again, you don't have an enforcement mechanism. That's the important thing.
There wasn't an enforcement mechanism back then either.
Depends for which one. The Maaser, I think there was.
No, not if it's no. For the things that the crops you live, I think there wasn't. I think it was never. It was not, like, for those that goes to the Kohanim, they would enforce it because it's their livelihood, and also they weren't allowed to own land, so they literally depended on that.
The Levites,
the Levites,
but that's not socialism anyway.
In any way, shape, or form.
I would argue that one of the reasons that Jews tend to lean left is because right-wing organizations, who were traditional nationalists, told the Jews, "You don't belong. You're not part of us." Like Herzl tried to be an Austrian, like German Austrian nationalist. They told him, "No, you don't belong." That's how he became a Zionist. So, in many ways, the Jews went left because the right, like 100 years ago, forcefully rejected them. They had no choice but to go there. So that's another factor.
Which makes sense, by the way. I agree with them. This is one thing that I would argue, like if you're right-leaning, you can't have like, we have our own law systems. It's like you cannot do that. Like right-wing traditional nationalism doesn't tolerate several like parallel law systems.
They didn't just tolerate, Jews existing, so they left a very bitter
but that is
taste.
true to the left. That is both sides.
The left originally promised to be international. The whole idea of the far left was being international. Their anthem is called the International.
Well, obviously not when Karl Marx talked about it. I know what you're talking about, the start of communism, when you're talking about the USSR. And then they actually, inside communism, they had extreme freedom of speech and freedom of debate and everything like that, and extreme equality between genders and everything, and all the members. It just all went down the drain once they actually took power.
Yeah, I'm talking about what they said, not what they did.
Lenin had completely different plans from the get-go. He was a psychopath who enjoyed looking at his neighbors die, so...
Yes, but the Russian Empire was very openly and officially anti-Semitic. So if you couldn't look into the future, and someone tells you, "I'm going to bring down this empire which discriminates against you, which doesn't allow you to live in certain areas," it sounds good. What actually happened was completely different.
What?
But
Charlie Kirk was shot?
That's not good.
Are you kidding?
We just talk about leftist terrorism.
By the way, he is neither. He is just... he doesn't have an ideology, Charlie Kirk.
Yes, but I think that for the far left, if you're not 100% aligned with them, you are a mortal enemy.
What's praying? Oh, Netanyahu just made a post saying praying for Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
That's insanity. What the heck? What? That's not like his what? Like, that is not a person that went out and burnt any books.
Who are you talking about?
Charlie Kirk.
Again, Charlie Kirk,
he's
common. I would call him like common sense. He's like light right wing. He's right wing, but very light.
Okay, so like I heard, like, I know some things from behind the scenes. He's not like very ideological.
I'm just looking at myself. There are no
more
details.
One of those, you know what I'm saying? One of these people. Anyway, like, I'm just saying, it doesn't you shouldn't shoot him anyway.
I'm
just saying that because he's not right. Like, he's nothing that I wouldn't target him. You know.
Absolutely not. Again, generally, if we come to the point where instead of discussion we're shooting each other, that's like a civil war, and that's awfully something that people would like to avoid.
But it was such a clear thing. Like, what were the idiots were thinking when there were, like, when Jews were shot? Like, they didn't, like, these idiots, and I said it, like, I'm sorry, also the media and the press in the United States, you guys don't understand what the meaning of that is. It means that everybody who thinks differently is now a fair target. And this is the impression the media gives. Like, they think, okay, it's Jews. No, it's not. It's okay, it's Jews or not Jews or whatever.
It's worse. It's not just someone who thinks differently. It's someone who doesn't actively support you. Like in North Korea, when their previous leader died, they said that people have seen the bears weeping at the river. The bears heard that the leader died, and the bears cried. Why did they do that? It's such obvious nonsense. That's a test. If someone says, no, the bears didn't cry at the river because bears don't cry, problem. We have to re-educate you. So they will terrorize anyone who isn't actively supporting them.
Sorry, I missed it out. Can you repeat your last sentence, please?
Yes. So in North Korea, They didn't punish people who thought differently. They punished people who didn't scream what they said.
Well, you saw
people who didn't enthusiastically agree with them.
Well, did you see the comment I made? Wait, let me show you. You know what? Because it's funny, and I'm also gonna share it so we can see it on my profile. Like, wait, I want to share that because I think this is exactly that. One sec, I'll find it real quick. It is possible.
Now you're channeling Hercule Poirot.
What?
I said, are you channeling Hercule Poirot? C'est possible?
Am I channeling what?
Hercule Poirot, the famous Belgian detective.
Oh, no, sorry, I'm not that literate. Anyway, this is the film about Gaza's child killing gets record ovation at Venice. Gaza film received 24 minutes standing ovation. And all I had, the only thought I had in mind was like, this one, I was like 24 minutes of standing ovation. That's North Korean numbers. I bet the one who stopped clapping first is now hanging somewhere.
Yes, and because what happens, like, if someone doesn't show the proper enthusiasm, he's not one of us.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
If he's not one of us, he's an enemy. And enemies have to be dealt with.
Okay, I don't know if here, look. That's what I saw.
Every last deranged leftist needs.
This is insane. Every deranged needs to be rounded up. And
because, look, the left in America is starting to,
like, I just shared it because it's the first thing I saw that talked about it. It's not that I agree with you have to lock them and shoot them up. Just to clarify it. What were you saying? It says content warning, which might be problematic. Well, if it's no sound, okay, you can barely see anything. Okay. Yeah. You're saying insanity. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, my internet is acting up. I said that the left in America has a very serious terrorism problem. We have assassination after assassination, attack after attack.
Yeah, they started with this.
It's basically, at this point, it's a military attack against America. It's a military operation.
100%. And I hate the way, like, in the media, they cooperated with them. Oh, it's okay. Just the CEO of a pharma, like, insurance company, whatever.
The media is part of the attack.
Oh, it's just Jews, right? Jews, obviously, it's okay. And now it's just Charlie Kirk. But
like after World War II.
But it's gonna be more and more.
Hung. After World War II, the Allies hanged several German journalists. So it was established that journalists are part of a war machine. Journalists are weapons. They would regularly bomb Italian radio stations. They would bomb German radio stations. They would bomb Japanese radio stations. They hanged Lord Haha. His actual name was Williams. They hanged the editor of the Strumer, Julius Stricker. They put what was her name? Tokyo Rose prison. So back then, people understood it that, like, you know, Hamas says we have a political wing and a military wing. So the left in America also has a political wing and a military wing. And their political wing, some elements of the Democrat Party. Their military wing is, for example, BLM. BLM was the military wing of the left. It was a militant organization.
You know what? Okay, so there is one thing I have to like it's a pet peeve, because I'm gonna go into a nerdy rant that has nothing to do with anything. I feel like anarchy is actually far right. Okay? I think if you take the idea of right wing, and you take it to the extreme, this is when you get anarchy. And when you take the left to the extreme, that's when you get Nazism and communism and fascism. All right?
Like absolute collectivism. We all have to be the same.
Yes. So if you take right wing to the like because I took this time, I thought, fascism, Nazism, communism, they're the same thing. They are the same thing. It's not like
Mussolini was raised by left-wing socialists, like all his girlfriends, his lovers.
Hitler was a communist.
They were all communists. Yeah.
Hitler himself was a communist. He himself
More
was
importantly,
a communist.
Hitler, even when he was a Nazi, he said Hitler said that a communist can become a good Nazi. Like I can turn a communist into a Nazi, but like a bourgeois person, there's nothing you can do with them. They're lost cause.
Yeah.
So he was okay with communists. Like it was said, I can either kill you or I can become my ally. It's okay because we're the same kind of people. It's so like communists and Nazis. They're not different ideologies. They're like gangs, different gangs fighting over the same turf. Gangs don't have different ideologies. They just fight for power.
Yeah. No, I mean, like the Nazis had like an extra element of skin color, but that's it.
Yeah, racism. But right now, look at the left wing. It's also becoming increasingly racist. They're just racist against different groups.
It's just different flavors. But like I think fascism, communism, Nazism, they're all the same thing. They're left, and it's like, and then I was like, and here's the thing, like BLM. Sorry, anarchy. That's right wing. That's right wing to the extreme. I'm like, now that we set that point clear for the future reference and for the people in the world to understand, because I think it's confusing so many people when they say, okay, Nazis were right wing. No, they cannot be. They're collectivists. If you take socialism, like if you take the left to the extreme, you get all those kind of ideologies. And then if you take right wing to the extreme, you get anarchy. That's my pet peeve. All right. And all right. So Shauna here, thank you for your support. I actually think it's more simply why it's more simple why Jews lean left. The left is always defined by the new ideas, and the Jews always gravitate to places where ideas can be explored. I think the Jews were an easy target like any other minority. And they fell to the propaganda of the left, just like the blacks did. The Republican Party was the party that was fighting against slavery versus the Democratic Party that was fighting for slavery, and yet they fell to the propaganda saying that the left is actually the one that's supporting the black minorities, when it was actually always the Republicans who did more so than the left did. So I think the Jews fell to the same. They just fell into it just as much as the blacks did. Just a minority trap, honestly speaking. And Shauna, thank you again. Charlie was shot at a Utah event. FBI is investigating. Vance called for prayers. They are targeting soft spots. Utah has high trust environment. This is insanity. By the way,
Vance at some point, I think the U.S. will have to take military action.
Yeah. Vance is also a closeted communist.
I don't know a lot about his views, except that he's quite anti-European, which I approve of.
Yeah, well, I approve too. I really liked him in the beginning, and then I realized, first of all, like his book is like stinking of communist thought. And then second, like the more I hear about where he's going.
I haven't read his book, but there's obviously some identity politics there.
Like he has like the tendency. I think it's like a thing. I never trust people who have leftist tendency. I think it's like a trap that they keep falling into. They always find because it also this left, like this collectivism kind of mentality, always like knows how to dress itself up in different.
It always starts with the same sentence. It starts with "I know what you need better than you do." It always starts there.
That's a good one. So he made this beautiful speech about him believing that he should America should trust its allies way more, and like they know what to do in their turf better than us. But he's not actually.
Do you mean Vance?
Yeah, that's why I liked him. But then I realized that there is a big difference between that kind of speech that he made and the way he really the way he probably really is.
Vance, I think right now he's holding his cards close to his chest, as they say.
Yeah, needs to be. It's a scary thought. It's a scary thought. All right, so you watched the video. You did your homework properly. Any points?
I actually watched it before. It's not the first time I watched it. I watched it many years ago.
Me too.
And I watched it before, before they had the BLM riots. And when it started, I said, okay, this is it. This is the time bomb, which was placed 40 years ago. The fuse reached the point. That's the explosion. Like, I instantly said, that's what Yuri was talking about. It was so obvious to me. And then I rewatched the video, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then you sent it to me, and then I watched it again, and it refreshed all the points.
But to me, you know what was confusing to me? Because in Israel, it's like, there is part of it that I cannot blame anyone, because it developed at the same time as communism developed, right? There is a branch here of that kind of thinking that is a native. So
I would argue that Israel doesn't have anything except socialism, because Likud it's like a socialist light party, but it's a social democratic party. They still say how the government should manage the economy. And in Israel, basically, right and left is just foreign politics. Like, people don't like to talk about the economy in Israel. People get bored when you talk about the economy in Israel. So because there is no conversation, by definition, everything is left, because there is no economic conversation. There is no really social conversation.
No, they're trying to do that. But
we try to do it with Zehut. And when I would start talking to people about stuff that doesn't include blowing up something, their eyes would just, roll, and they would get bored.
Right. It's also, there are elements in the Likud who try to do that, but it's like the people here.
I don't believe them. I think it's theater. I don't believe them.
I believe some of them, but here's the thing. Like, imagine if those idiots, like, I'm sorry, you have to explain to them that you don't want the government to do every little thing, and it's like, I'm so tired of explaining that. Like, every time it's like they say to me, "Oh my God, the government didn't take care of that," and I think, like, this is something the government shouldn't be taking care of, because the implication of that are awful.
Too much power.
Yeah, like, too much, way too much, and unnecessary power. Like, and also,
on the one hand, they say that people are bad, so you have to give more power to the government, but the government is made of people. So, like, people are bad, but you have to give them more power so they can do more bad. Like, if people are bad, you should give them less power. So, like, on a very basic philosophical level, it doesn't work.
No, but let's be fair. They are the people from both sides.
That's what I say. Not that they don't. That's what I said. But like, if you look at Shas, at Yahadut Torah, people call them right wing. They are leftist,
they're left
socialist parties. They're like hard left.
They're communists.
So, like, when people talk about the right wing in Israel, where is that right wing except for Zehut? I've never seen a right wing party. And when I start, like, when people tell, what do you mean right wing? Like, bomb Arabs? I mean, no, right wing. I mean, like, free market, freedom of speech, individualism. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, for them, right wing is the two-state solution, one-state solution, transfer, Nakba. They just don't want to talk about anything else, and that's a disaster. That's very sad. The economic, the economical conversation is almost non-existent. Like, you and I, we're trying to do that right now, but let's see how it works.
I don't know. I think it's okay. I think it will be better. But because there are people who are busy with it. Okay, but I have to have, like, one caveat, okay? So, like, Israelis are stupid like that, but I also want to give an asterisk and say that they do work for it from both sides. Like, they, it's not that, like, they benefit from the system most of the time to exploit it. Like, most of these people really genuinely work hard for it as well.
The people who are exploited the most are the ones who supported the most, like the horse in 1984. In
no, I know they don't
novel.
Exploit it; they support it, but work for it.
Yeah, the ones who benefit from it, like, they're very skeptical about it. It's always like that.
No, I think, like, listen, they have some sort of a kibbutz mentality, but they work their asses off for the kibbutz. So, like, I cannot completely, like, not say that they're not okay. Like,
when we say they, who do we mean? I think I lost the line of the conversation.
like the average Israeli, right? Who says like the government should do this, do that. They also a lot of times they also volunteer. They also work properly.
They
like
are the ones who are being exploited the most. They are the ones who benefit from it the least, and the ones who lose the most. That's what I
and
meant.
they support it still. So it's like, well, at least like
like objectively, who benefits the most from it? The Arabs and the Haredim. Like I'm talking just about numbers, not philosophy, numbers.
Yeah.
And who puts the most into it? The upper middle class. Yeah.
But their egos
the
are
idea
so
of the
big
kibbutz. The idea of the kibbutz is limited to the size of a kibbutz. Sorry, I think we have a small delay, so I keep talking over you.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, that's what happens.
Go
yeah,
on,
well, no, I'm just saying that at the same time, though, their priorities are so idiotic. Like, Gantz wanted to sit in the government, and everybody told him that he shouldn't be under join in, because that would devastate his party. And it was wartime. Like these idiots, the priorities are effed up.
Gantz has no ideology. He's just a moron.
No, it doesn't matter though. It's better to have somebody like that, right, to join in, and when it's called for. And yet, he's gonna lose anyway, right? But it's he died. What? He died. Are you talking about?
He was shot on the left side of the neck, so yeah, it didn't look good.
No, Charlie Kirk died. No, this is insane. This is scary. When people asked me about me doing what I'm doing, and I said I'm Israeli, I'm a target anyway, so I don't fear too much. Why would they go out of the way to look for me? They can shoot any person in the street.
I think for them it's like targeting individual ends. They want to destroy all of us. I don't think they care about you or me particularly.
Yeah, but it makes us it's the safety in numbers.
Yes, like those little fish. The shark doesn't attack them because there are so many fish.
Yeah, because it's also, I said it's the same way. I was when I was in with Apostle AP Ridvan Admir. He has death threats. Apostle Prophet, this channel. When we were hanging out, and I was with him, he was there are death threats against me. I was like, don't worry, I'm an Israeli. The Mossad is watching us. We're good.
I get 10 death threats.
It's you're safer with me because I get watched by the Mossad anyway when I'm abroad because I'm an Israeli.
But I remember I met with a friend in Paris, and we were walking down the street. It was about 10 years ago. And we're talking Juif, Israelian, and I'm the whole street is looking at us. Please shut up. And said, we are friends. There is no terrorism here. Everyone is tolerant. And I'm by God, everyone's looking at us. There isn't a single, you're the only French person on the street. We're surrounded by Pakistanis and Moroccans and Algerians, and we're walking by a mosque, and everyone is looking at us. And you're putting a target, if you want to put target on yourself, be my guest, but you're putting a target on me as well. So why don't you
hard, our security systems work right now everywhere for us to be safe? I don't think
Yeah, but we spoke about being right wing. So right wing is taking responsibility. No one will save you if you shove your head into a wood chipper. No one will save you from that. Don't be actively.
Don't look for
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time I was in Moscow, and I saw a neo-Nazi protest. And I walked around them, and I saw a big group of cops. And I started talking to the policeman. I said, "What's that?" He said, "Those are some peep Nazis." And I said, "Can I hang out with you guys?" And said, "Yeah, sure." And told him I'm Jewish, I'm from Israel. And the policeman said, "Oh, that's wonderful." And then I went to talk to the Nazis. And I said, "I'm Jewish. What do you want to tell me?" But first of all, I made sure that I was surrounded by cops. If I just went from the other side, I wouldn't one Jewish person surrounded by 80 Nazis. That wouldn't have gone well. So one has to be. By the way, the first response is very good. If you go up a little bit, so David says it's another day where the Islamo-communist. Yes, of course, I follow him. He's a brilliant analyst. I mostly follow him because of his commentary on the Russian-Ukrainian war. If you don't follow him, you should follow him.
Oh, by the way, we should definitely talk about the Poland case.
Yes.
Later on.
So he said that it's the Islamo-communist terror. People should understand, these are not spontaneous things. It's a military operation against the West, against Western civilization, against America, and the response to that should be military, not police response, not legal response. It should be a military response. It's a war. It's an invasion, and I think it's very important for people to start realizing before it's too late.
Yep. So, how did we get here? So you watched the video, right? That we're about to watch. So
yes.
Now we have a very real life example of the
yes. Unfortunately, it's very timely.
So walk us through it, because you did your homework properly.
Okay, so Yuri is one of sorry.
This is tragic. This is
insane. Yeah, it's horrible.
Like this guy, like really, like he wasn't. Like, it's not that I wanna say anything. Like he's like this. He's a person that like.
You mean Kirk?
Yeah. Why?
So
like why?
They're destroying.
He's not even that right wing. That it's not.
They are destroying everyone who stands in their way, can be their threat. That's the cultural Marxism.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna shut up now, because with maybe random comments of shock. How did we get here?
So I'm not really familiar with the format. Are we going to watch the video, or we're just going to discuss it?
No, let's discuss it and then watch it.
Okay, so basically, Yuri Bezmenov was a Soviet agent. He was a journalist, but actually his job was to subvert societies. And then when he defected from the Soviet Union, he explained to people the way by which the Soviet Union and similar countries like Cuba, like China, subvert societies to the point that they require normalization. And the normalization means that the society has been destabilized, put at a point of crisis, and then the left moves in and basically restores order from the chaos which it itself has created. And he explained that the means by which it can be done.
Oh no, Ori, are you here? I don't know if I. Okay, let me. Shana Rubio for president. I don't remember if I read it. I also don't trust Vance. I didn't read his book, but it gives me an ick. You're right, he does wear the same clothes. Oh, thank you so much for your support. And Hila, hey, I love you. Nice to see you here. By the way, Hila, if you guys have been following me, there is an app I've been advertising for studying the Bible. Hila, she's my friend. She wrote it. So use the promo code Rebecca, the link in the description below to the app. It's amazing. There are actually very good quotes in the New Testament that I've learned through this app. So it's the Bible way. All right, continue the story. I'm sorry that the Bible way.
Yeah. So are we talking about the Bible or about communism?
It's a great way to support the legacy of Charlie Kirk, which I think is he officially dead or?
No, not officially.
Okay, not officially. So,
but he's usually when the media says that someone is a critical condition, it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like.
I really hope you'll be fine, but from what I saw, it does not look good, and it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah. All right. Are you here? You get stuck sometimes. I think this. Oh, I don't know who that Richie Torres is, but I think the shooting of Charlie Kirk at college event due to his attack on our democracy. Listen, you like in those kind of events, you want the other party to be making sure that this is a line that was crossed across the board. Doesn't matter them. Like you cannot have one party system in America. Like the Democrat Party really needs to clean its. But all right, are you here?
Yes.
You're writing. Oh, you're tweeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
My internet connection is kind of wobbly, so as you notice.
Yeah.
But when you're at a war, you have the best target, and it's something that Mao Zedong said. The best target is the enemy's headquarters. Like that's what you should attack, the enemy's headquarters. So, like the soldiers of the left, like the guy who shot the CEO, the guy who shot the 2 Israeli diplomats, the guy who shot Charlie Kirk, the guy who shot Trump, the other guy who shot Trump. They are the soldiers, and it's important to destroy the enemy's soldiers. But the main target is the enemy's headquarters, and that is what should be hit. And hopefully people will wake up to it, because that is a military operation. That is an attack on America.
So explain.
It's all part of it.
Is it something from the video or unrelated that you just added?
I'm taking what he said a little further, because when Yuri spoke, you didn't yet have such an effective media device.
I also think that he couldn't have said it, because if he would have said it, it would nobody would have listened, because I already understood that people are willing to hear the truth, but to the extent that that is exactly the next step from where they're at, where they're
he was also concerned about being accused of incitement, so you had to choose his words carefully.
Yeah, it's also, but here I also notice, right, it's people I hear people saying I'm being very direct, blunt, or no, I'm just saying the truth as is, but people just want to hear the next step of truth. Every time they don't want to hear the whole truth. You understand? So the next truth,
yes,
back then was, okay, you're gonna have a brainwashed, uneducated, unscientific people who cannot do scientific research properly, people who are have bad economic ideas, right? It's the easier. The education is going to fail. It's easier than you're going to have
he said about the stages he described were demoralization, destabilization, crisis, and normalization. So we are at the crisis point. We are very close to the normalization point.
This is normalization. Isn't that normalization?
The normalization is when the crisis is so extreme that you want someone from outside to come and restore order. For example, when you take actions that increase crime, for example, there was a lot of talk about the murder of Irena Zarutska recently. So her murder was planned. It was a malicious action, because if you keep releasing those insane people into the street again and again, eventually they will murder someone, and people become afraid. And then you tell them, "Oh, I can bring normality back to your life. Just give me more power. Then I will restore normalization." So you create a crisis, and then you tell them, "Give me more power, and I will restore normality." And the reason I say normalization in quotes, because there's nothing normal about it. That is an invasion.
Okay, I think so. uploaded it again because there was a sound problem. So what stage is this thing?
In which a shooting like this.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay.
In which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, to emphasize what you just emphasized, we don't know any of the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about.
In which a shooting like this.
What is this?
Yeah, that
what
is
is
gaslighting.
it, like an Arab wedding?
That is like very aggressive gaslighting. The media loves to gaslight people.
Yeah, what stage is that? Demoralization? What is it?
That is the crisis. It's no, the demoralization
okay, so
was about 20
years
ago.
Okay,
so the stages are first you have demoralization. You try to basically ruin the normal relationship between people. At some point, unions no longer represent the workers, they represent themselves. Their actions make the lives of workers worse, not better. They make people distrust their neighbors, distrust their spouses, distrust themselves. Then you have destabilization. Then you take organizations which were traditionally beneficial and positive organizations. You keep the name, but you make those organizations malicious. Like you take human rights organizations, but they support terrorism. You take justice organizations, but they support crime. That is the point of the destabilization. Then you have the crisis. You have increasing crime. The government is not effective. You have social workers who answer to the bureaucracy, not society. You have guests on TV who say everything is terrible, something must be done. You push society to the brink of civil war, of terrorism, of chaos. That is the next stage. And finally, you have normalization, at which point the outside force comes in. It could be, Soviet tanks rolling into your country, or it could be some powerful organization which was prepared in advance. And they restore order, they restore dignity and equality, and they basically turn your country into something completely different. That is the last stage.
Yeah.
So obviously, United States is huge, very powerful. You can't just do that in the United States like you did it in Grenada or Panama, something small. So that is a project that takes many generations. And the longest stage is the first stage. The demoralization requires at least one generation to grow up and accept this ideological subversion.
Yeah. So we are like in. So somebody here. So we're in the transition between this, like
Yes.
demoralization and. Are we between demoralization and destabilization, or destabilization to crisis?
I would say that the crisis stage began with the BLM riots.
Yeah.
The BLM terrorist campaign, that was like the beginning of the crisis stage.
So when was it? When was would you say that was the transition between demoralization and destabilization?
That's a good question. I'm less of a specialist on America specifically, but I would argue that the destabilization started at around 1999, like the beginning of the 21st century, when you had like this generation of brainwashed morons whom you could activate when you had control over. Basically, their weapon is Hollywood, academia, and the media. So when these weapons were ready, when they could launch them, that's where they started destabilizing it. And that's like, if you look at, for example, Salman Rushdie, he said that's about the point where Amnesty International became from a human rights organization to a terrorist support network. It's had about this time. Or when the UN became, instead of a forum for peace, it became a forum for hate.
Here I'm watching. There are different news channels live. Want to see what's happening in one of them? There
It
is
would be interesting because I haven't actually watched the news in 2 years. I haven't watched any news channel at all in 2 years.
I me neither. It's demoralizing.
Yeah, it's literally the demoralization stage.
It's literally demoralizing.
It's the enemy.
100%.
It's like listening to enemy propaganda. It's like listening to Hamas propaganda.
So Shana here is saying, thank you, Shana. Attacker, an old man. The big issue in the United States is lone actors are more likely. The use of the culture against itself.
Yes.
In England, it's been legalism. France revolution. America, it's our individualism. What do you think?
That's a subversion. You take it's exactly what Yuri spoke about. You take the individualism, this excellent trait of American society. Individualism is like this amazing thing, and you subvert it and you turn it into a weapon against America. That's the ideological subversion. You take this excellent American value and you slowly turn it into something which is used against America, something which is used against American society.
Insanity.
And the interesting thing about subversion is it's an attack against America, which is completely legal. It's a form of terrorism which is legal because right now with freedom of speech, you can say whatever you want. You can come from Qatar, you can come from China, and you can actively engage in subversion. There are no legal ways at all to defend from this.
All right.
And you see that, like, the rotten education, you see that in the spread of, fake morality, fake institutions, moral relativism, and all that it's like, you have this, you know what the salami tactics are? So if you want to achieve a big effect, you do a lot of small actions because the big effect would result in catastrophe. So, like, for example, you want to invade the country. If you just invade the country, they'll drop a nuclear bomb on you. So you take over a village, then you take over a valley, and take over another village, and they don't know where to respond. And by this point, it's too late. So that is like a micro salami. They slice America, but by like atom thin slices. It's such a slow attack that people don't even see that they're being attacked.
Sounds like Islam.
Islam and communism, absolutely, yes. Yes.
You want to watch a little bit, see what's going on? Megan Kelly, people.
Mags and the security lines and the whole thing, because we talked about this with the Charlotte killing, because now there's that whisper of fear that in a free society, and a society true to our ideals, no one should have. It should never enter your mind that you can be out there openly, fiercely, making your case, and you have to worry about a hideous act of violence being perpetrated against you. But now everyone has to think about it.
Mark, I can't help but think as I see these videos.
That's exactly the goal, isn't it?
Yes.
Like that's the goal. And but here's the thing: if people don't take this risk, it's gonna get worse.
Ranger stabs her in the neck, and she's confused, and she goes down. She crumbles down to the floor, and then you see just a ton of blood spill out on the subway floor in bright red, just copious amounts. Charlie got shot, it looked to me, in the same spot. It looked like it was on it was the left side of his neck. And the blood that poured out on that video, I will never forget as long as I live. And I hope I never have to see it again. And I don't recommend people look it up. And it's the same thing in a way, in that it's not exactly a random act of violence, but it's a senseless act of violence that takes someone so young and promising. In the case of Charlie Kirk, a truly important national figure, entirely of his own making, 31 years old, no formal education, no connections to anyone, nothing to give him a head start, just pure tenacity and willingness to work hard, and a God-given ability to communicate and express himself in a way that literally drew the attention of millions. I mean, I'm worried about my kids. They love him. He's so important to young voters, yes, but young kids, high schoolers. My middle schooler knows who Charlie Kirk is and totally admires him. My kids were dying to go with me to a Turning Point event. They're a little young, but we were definitely going to do it. they looked up to him. He's a hero to so many genuinely young kids. I mean, teenagers. This is going to have such an effect on so many people from 80 years old to our 80-year-old president on down.
So someone here, Pete Ross, his comment was such drama. What do you have to say about that, Uli?
I have no idea what's the context. There is no way to respond to that.
It sounds like they're being dramatic. That's the comment. Let's say that is the comment.
Person was shot, and a very important person was shot. To say it's drama, it's a very bad faith comment. That's what I can say.
Yeah, it's off. Like it's
like coming to someone who just broke his leg and said, "Oh, what are you whining about? It's just a broken leg, Jesus!" Like, you know.
No, it's way worse than that. It's way worse than that. First of all, it's an advertisement that people have a target on their backs now. It's a salami. It's like if you don't overreact now, the next slices are going to be way bigger.
Yes, and in some ways we're in a very late stage, unfortunately.
So Michael Feldman here wants to open an argument. As an American, I agree with Uri. I just disagree with the timetable. The first steps were the anti-Vietnam War protests and riots in the USA in the 1960s. I think so too.
Yeah, it's a good argument to be made because maybe I'm limited in that I'm thinking in the terms of my own lifetimes, and I was born in 1985. So I would think about the things which I have observed. Yes, that's a very valid comment. The timeline may be longer. Yes, I agree with Michael.
You know what's funny? I'm just, as we speak, I'm editing a video where I talk about free speech and the limitations of free speech and everything like that. And I was, you know, where I stopped? In the point where I said sometimes people get killed for it. And now.
So I am not so addicted to, democracy, free speech. For me, they're tools. They're not the objective. The objective is to live well. If those tools serve this objective, great. If they don't serve this objective, let's use other tools. Sometimes they're the right tools for the job, some the wrong tools for the job.
Yeah, well, I actually said, like, my video is that. My video is saying the free speech is the wrong framework. But whatever. Let's hear a little bit more.
Shooting like this, an event like this, information is constantly circulated that is bad, and we've all been burned by it. We don't have any official word on how Charlie is doing. I will say, for whatever it's worth, Glenn Beck just tweeted out that he's getting word Charlie's been stabilized.
Oh, that's good.
And says he prays it's true. I do not know whether that is true. If it's true, it is a miracle. As Glenn writes in his tweet, if it's true, it's a second miracle. First Trump, and then, God willing, Charlie. Yeah. I don't know.
May I say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, please. Go ahead, Mark.
Sorry. I've twice now talked about him in the past tense, and I pray and look forward to the day when I can joke with him about that. I'm sorry I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're hoping to have that moment. I mean, he was brought to the emergency center or to the hospital. I don't know how close it was. Utah, they definitely have some level 1 trauma centers in Utah. I know this from having skied out in the area.
I see another breaking report. There is a school shooting in Colorado.
Mm-hmm. What a lovely day we're having.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yes.
I don't know. We just don't have the answers. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We're praying for him. That's what we can do right now, Rich. We can pray for him. There was an eyewitness to it. His name is Justin Hickens. He spoke with NBC News. He says he was 20 yards away. He also witnessed the arrest of the suspect. We're going to take a look at that testimonial here.
I was about 20 yards away on Charlie's left. I had gotten there probably just a few minutes before noon. There was thousands of people there. Unfortunately, there was no metal detectors. There was no, I mean, there was security by Charlie, but, you know, anybody could have shown up with whatever, unfortunately. And
You know what I'm thinking? What was the crowd reaction? You know when things would really get messed up? If the crowd would be happy.
Well, in any case, they would have run away, because people were shooting at them.
Proximity to Arabs is, well, obviously that's the first reaction, but
like that's like an animal reaction. Like a few months ago, a friend and I we stood near an artillery battery near. Well, I don't want to say where, but we stood near an artillery battery. And I'm standing there. I'm looking at the cannon. The cannon's right in front of me. I know it's going to shoot, and then it shoots, and like, whoa! Like you jump each time because those sounds are really, they make you jump. That's like the first human reaction. Like even if you have this fanatical, Islamist, Mujahideen crowd, even they jump when shooting starts. That's like very basic human reaction. So what we have to see is how the American intelligentsia will respond, how the American, the influencers, because, for example, I'm sure a lot of influencers are going to blame the Jews, like even if it's not related to Jews in any case. Let's blame the Jews. Why not? Maybe a lot of leftists will say, good riddance. We should. It's good. Like I'm against violence, but this guy deserved it. Like when Andrew Breitbart died, most of the compassionate and enlightened intelligentsia celebrated his death. They celebrated it openly and shamelessly. When Trump was almost murdered, a lot of American intelligentsia celebrated it. And I really hope that Kirk will be fine. I like the video I saw was not good, but I really hope he'll be fine. It's possible, I do believe in miracles. So I do believe that people have purpose.
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
So that is an interesting reaction because the people were in the crowd, and it's also it's youth. It's a very conservative place. They will have to digest it. Like when these communists shot to Israeli consulate workers, to Israeli diplomats, I haven't seen a single word of condemnation from the American intelligentsia. I've seen a lot of people support it. That's where I knew the response. Because the response right away is not interesting. What happens a few hours afterward, a few days, like when 7 October happened, these people were silent for a day. And then they started saying, we support Palestine, stop the genocide in Palestine, before anything really happened.
Check out
when they got their command.
What do you think of that?
I think it's very close. I think it's pretty, yes. He said that it's difficult to think of a war targeting America from the point of view of political stability than Kirk. He says, I'm going over the conservative side of the news right now, and things are a lot worse than they were after the assassination attempt on Trump. David is correct, as always.
Yeah.
And I think that America is this close to a revolution, at least a constitutional revolution. Like, their reaction can be really brutal. And, like, people said, we had BLM, now we'll have WLM, White Lives Matter. But if the kind of angry white people we know will respond, it will not be riots and protests. It can be a revolution. It can take America in some very dark direction. I'm really concerned about the overreaction which it may cause. So I completely agree with David. And, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it won't happen. I hope America will maintain its character, that it won't go into the direction of some, like the, how do you call them in English? The phalangists in Lebanon. We also had them in Spain. So I really hope America won't go in that direction, but I think it's possible. If you push people really hard, you can get an American Franco. I think it's possible.
And I hope that when they get that, then they actually take over Qatar properly and stop playing around. Just take the riches.
It like Franco
First
spilled a
things-
sea of blood. He spilled a sea of blood, and I'm afraid if it happens in America, it will be bloody. It will be, oh my God, it will be so bloody.
It's just a joke to referencing my yesterday's, because I said, like, you know, the only reason that Qataris can have its money, it's because America allows it, and it's a psychological thing, right?
Qatar is 100% dependent state. If you just stop supporting it,
Yeah,
they're just
exactly.
a bunch
And
of
you know, they spend
they're
their
a bunch
money
of
on
Bedouins.
whatever
They're
they
a bunch of
want.
Bedouins.
Exactly. So they could,
And
so
like
they spend their
most
money
of the people
on
who live in
things
Qatar are foreign workers. They don't like Qatar. They would happily, you know, tear apart the Thani family. And like the Qatari part of Qatar is the size of Nes Ziona. It's like taking over Nes Ziona. That's conquering Qatar. You can destroy Qatar in one evening. It's nothing. Their influence is pure media.
You're very passionate about destroying Qatar, I see.
I'm very passionate about destroying a lot of things. I'm not a liberal.
Shauna, so American Protestantism is still the founding culture, and more than any other, Christianity is all about personal responsibility. This is what they subvert on campuses. I sat in those classes. I know. Oh, that's...
Yes, absolutely. It's what we spoke about. It. They took this wonderful American trait of self-reliance, of transcendentalism, of individualism, and they just turn them into weapons against. They're like viruses. You know, a virus can't reproduce. A virus is not like a full organism. It connects to a cell and causes the cell to hurt the body. So this is what this kind of subversion does. But yeah, I see that there are now reported his state is stable.
That's amazing.
So that's, yeah, these are not official sources, but...
is it true? Let's see that.
Who is Daoud? I don't even know who that guy is.
I don't know. Let's just hear. Like, I don't know. That could be a Pakistani that tries to make things worse. And
Pakistan makes everything worse. Go India.
Oh.
I love Indian culture. I love Buddhism. I love
I think they're more Hindu than Buddhist.
Indian philosophy.
But, yeah.
Yeah, Buddhism came from Hindu. It's like the idea of karma, dharma.
Yeah.
It's all relevant.
Well, it's like, but it's also Christianity came from Judaism. Lori Chato, this is truly a major rollover point. I agree that with Michael Feldman that it started earlier. In fact, I am sure of it. Example: mankind substituted with humankind, demoralizing the old timers. Lori Chato,
yeah, it's part of that. And as Yuri said, these are all natural processes.
You know, it's funny how like as a woman, I can say like. You can grow up never thinking you are not part of mankind. And suddenly somebody comes to you and says like, oh no, we need to include you. So it's humankind now. It's like, I included until now? I thought mankind also never talked about me. Like it's such a way to implement an idea. I was like, wait, I was not part of mankind? It's like I cannot necessarily think about it.
My brother had a very funny response to that.
Oh no, we lost you. Okay, let me see what Harbinger Zero. Thank you for your support. Communism has been infiltrating the U.S. government for over a century. McCarthyism was the first big push against it. There were secret purges in the government during this era. It's been a long fight. Yeah, it's been. I think isn't Roosevelt the one that had a soft spot for communism?
So my brother had a very funny response to that. So we watched like some old Soviet movie, and they said that a woman is also human. And then his first response was, wait, women weren't human before? Like, why do you need to include women in the category of human? Like, why do you need to actively do that? Like, saying, if you're saying they're also human, then you're saying they're not humans, but we should treat them as humans. Like, most humans are women.
Oh, like, it's like the Coldplay. It's like the Coldplay right? The concert with Coldplay where he had 2 Israeli girls on this crowd.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you guys are. Oh, I also think you're humans." Like that's
Yeah.
or making fun of that.
Like I spoke with a
Yeah. I know
a
you're
British
Israeli,
friend.
but I also think you're a human, right?
Yes. Also, the also is very important.
Yeah.
Like when someone says, black people are also human. Like, what do you mean also human? You're saying they're not human? Like, what does the also human mean? Or you need to like, when are you going to start to treat them like humans? And I said, they are humans. What do you mean treat them like humans? It's like, my phone, he's not human. I can treat it like a human, but he's not human.
Yeah.
A black person is human, and by definition, like I can't treat him like a human because he's human. So that's so insane. And I think McCarthy is really being vindicated right now. A lot of people understand that McCarthy wasn't a bad guy. McCarthy was someone who was trying to save America. He was ahead of his time.
He was in with Roosevelt, right?
I think it was a little later. The problem with McCarthy is that he was insane, like literally insane. They locked him in a madhouse later. So he wasn't good at communicating. He was too loud, too fanatical, honestly somewhat obnoxious. Like if he could be more gentle, more intellectual, it would have been much better.
Yeah, Japester is saying, thank you. 2027 Empress Rebecca declares war on the Ummah with newly liberated Persia and India in the final crusade. Slave bakeries built in every capital. Yes, and barbecue places. Thank you.
These are big dreams. But, I really hope that the Iranians will someday get rid of the regime.
Amen.
And that, we will go to Iran and have vacations there. I want to spend my money in Iran. I want to give money to Iranian people. I want to see all their beautiful sites. I want to go to their museums. I want to make Iran rich. I want to give them my money. Just, let me. I want to fly there. I want to go to hotels. Just let me give you my money. I want to do that.
But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of
divisive means, not leftist.
He lost me in the first word. Like, and it sounds like then the next sentence is going to be even worse.
But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words.
And these are the people who protect
that's what let's talk about
from
that's
deportation. When these are the people who protect terrorists from deportation, claiming that free speech and hate speech is protected by law, and that Hamas supporters should be allowed to stay in the United States.
That guy, when I said that, you have to remove the soldiers, but you also had to
and we still have 8 seconds here. We didn't reach the end. It's this disastrous, and we didn't get
this guy. And he's completely white. I'm gonna guess it. Well, he's Irish. He looks Irish. So that guy, he's the quarters. He is the terrorist chief. He is the one who is sending the terrorists to murder Trump, to murder Kirk, to murder Israeli diplomats. He is he's a terrorist chief. And we should understand that these people, they're terrorist chiefs. They are officers in the enemy army. And for them, hate speech means I'm putting a target on you. Like, if you're not my slave, I'm going to accuse you on hate speech, and I'm going to find some mentally unwell person and send him to murder you. Do you know how the purges started in Stalin's time? It began with the murder of Kirov. Now, Kirov was a member of the Politburo. He was a very powerful, very protected man. So how do you kill such a man without sending someone? They found a mentally unwell man named Nikolaev. And they opened the way for Nikolaev. They made sure that Kirov didn't have his bodyguards with him. And Nikolaev, on his free will, murdered Kirov. And they said, oh, You see, it's like he was met from the street. We had nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Uli, come back. Should we listen to the last 8 seconds? Uli? Oh, wow. What the second?
And they do it deliberately. They do it maliciously.
Yeah, you were last for 30 seconds.
Oh, I said I spoke about the murder of Nikolaev in the Soviet Union. Was this part heard or was it lost?
Yeah. No, you're stuck again.
Now I lost you for a short time. What did you say?
You froze again.
Yeah. So I said that how did they murder Nikolaev in the Soviet Union? He was one of the most powerful people in the country. Sorry, Kirov, not Nikolaev. They found a mentally unwell man named Nikolaev who thought his wife was cheating on him with Kirov, and he blamed Kirov for his job problems. And they just cleared the way for Nikolaev. Nikolaev had a gun, and they just removed the bodyguards, and they just pushed him in the right direction. He committed a murder. He pulled the trigger. He killed Kirov. But the one who was actually responsible for the murder was Stalin.
I think that this is what they tried to do with Trump.
I am sure 100% this is what they did, because
I'm also certain. Like I could,
because people would go to the police. There's a suspicious guy with a rifle. It's okay. And it was for half an hour. There's a guy with a rifle on the roof. It's probably fine. There's a guy measuring distance on the roof. He has like a device to measure distance. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
But
as soon as he fired, they killed him.
Like that was a perfect
and then
shot.
right after he shot, they killed him instantly.
And
he shot and then they killed him. Yeah, but I'm talking about like the shooter. As soon as he fired the shot, they killed him. Not before, after. No. Like he shot, boom, they killed him. Oh, he was just a crazy guy. We don't know anything. Check his social media, check his friends. He didn't say a single radical thing in his entire life. His profile was perfect. Like just a normal guy like you and me, a completely normal person. Well, you and me are politically active. He wasn't politically active. He was just a guy.
Yeah, wanna hear the.
And that is how they murder people. And like the Ud, or however the hell you pronounce his name, he is preparing for the next murder. He is right now inciting the next murder. He is the the assassin master. He's the commander who is sending his soldiers, and he's doing it deliberately and maliciously. He knows what he's doing.
Want to hear the last 8 seconds?
Words which then lead to hateful actions.
That wasn't even, but it's in 2 seconds. Did you hear the 2 seconds?
Yes.
Words which then lead to hateful certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
Interestingly enough, not a hateful action on his own side. Mm-hmm. It leads to hateful actions by people from the opposition.
Somehow saying death to Israel is not hateful. Somehow shooting a CEO, shooting a presidential candidate, that's not hateful. Like actually murdering people somehow, that's not hateful. But saying, man shouldn't compete in women's sport, that's hateful. That's hate. That's the ultimate evil. Not actually, murdering people.
This man is a terrorist. Who is? I don't know who that person is.
I know. Just, I guess he's Irish because of his, how do you call it, physiognomy, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Love that. No, but it kills me. Like, what I always say, hate speech brings to hateful leads to hateful actions. But interestingly enough,
the translation is disagreeing with me leads to you getting murdered. So don't disagree with me.
But it's interesting enough. like without the context, I would think it's, like it's those who are incited by it, right? By those who are in the same camp who take the actions. Not that it encourages those who disagree with him to take action.
Mhm.
Insanity. Oh.
Oy vey. Yeah. Oh, nice. We have very similar streams on Twitter. Yeah, these are all people I either follow or constantly reply to. Well, not Gabrielle. I'm not sure who she is. The politician, I guess.
Me neither.
But the gaslighting is amazing. Like on one of the channels he showed me, someone said, maybe it was an accidental discharge. Maybe they shot him accidentally.
Oh yeah, probably 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
It's you are also you're adding fuel to the fire.
Of course. I told you I am not a pacifist. I said that democracy and freedom of speech, these are tools. And if these tools stop working, if they're used against you, respond to it. You cannot. Okay. So something very important is you cannot win a war by being nice, and you cannot be good. If you can be good or you can be nice, but you cannot be good and nice, because to do good you have to destroy evil, and destroying evil is not nice. So one of the things I hate about our education system, and when I say our, I mean West in general, not just Israel, they tell you don't be good, be nice. If someone says something bad, don't turn over the table. Don't ruin the dinner. And so you have to get mad. You have to turn over the table. You say if someone says those things like at dinner, kick him out, ruin the dinner for everyone. And we have to stop being nice. We have to start not responding, initiating, doing things like it doesn't make sense that they murder us, they terrorize us, they humiliate us, they dehumanize us, they disenfranchise us, they absolutely erase us, but we're nice, we're civilized, we act by the law, we respect the law, we respect tradition, we respect international law, we respect their unique cultures. No, that has to stop. We have to start initiating, we have to start attacking. And that starts with creating those organizations, because the left, people think that the BLM riots was a response to the killing of George Floyd. It wasn't. They had this prepared in advance. They had these organizations. They had their stormtroopers.
October 7th was prepared in advance. All these universities and all those things, they was prepared in advance.
They just that was like a shot. When you shoot in the air at a race, everyone starts running. But they didn't start running because he shot in the air. The pistol isn't what makes people run. It was prepared in advance. So that was the shot in the air to tell them to run. So we need to start doing things like that. We need to start initiating. We need to start taking the initiative and stop responding. And that was also my problem with Netanyahu, his Gaza policy. He only responded. He didn't initiate anything. And I always said that it's a question of time until they drop a chemical bomb on us or biological bomb on us and kill 100,000
Israelis.
This is why
this is why I was so happy on October 7th.
Don't be happy.
Relieved, not happy. I was so relieved on October 7th.
I was really frustrated because
that was like when I realized
I spent half my life shouting about it, and everyone called me extremist, idiot, insane, and I spoke about it like for almost 2 decades.
Well,
and then the thing I talk about my whole life, when it happened, it wasn't a relief for me. I felt like Cassandra. I felt like Cassandra.
And here's the funny thing is like I wasn't even. I was like when I talk to people, I was like, oh, thank goodness. I think they thought I was crazy.
I felt like
No,
Cassandra, who
because
predicted
I
everything,
thought
and
no, because my scenario in my head was way more catastrophic. So when I realized the what's going on, right? When I with the when the picture was clear, like when I understood the numbers, I'm sorry. In my head, I was prepared to a much bigger catastrophe.
Israel didn't change. It will happen because, for example, if you root 9 now, Israel is pretty harsh in Gaza, but in Judea and Samaria, which is bigger than Gaza, Israel is doing the same old concepcia bullshit. Or the attack in Qatar, it was also the same old concepcia bullshit because they used less bomb to cause less collateral damage, and possibly they didn't succeed because of that.
But it's like, it's like you have to be prepared. It's yeah, we have
but
to.
But they're not. They're not. That's the problem, because they want to respond. They're not initiating. They're not destroying the enemy. They're waiting for the enemy to do something, and then they try to block it. If you give the enemy endless attempts, eventually he will hit you.
No, I'm talking about the logistics.
What do you mean?
The logistics. Like, it's a different conversation. But you need to be prepared. Like, they were organized. You have to organize first. You have to
You need to attack. You need to attack. And no, I think it's a good idea to attack before you're completely ready. Because if you're ready, the other guy is also ready. Have you seen the Clockwork Orange?
No.
So in Clockwork Orange, like the protagonist, who is not a good guy, he said, thinking is for stupid people. The smart people act of inspiration. So I think you have to be a little crazy, at least.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Crazy part of population.
Craziness is very important. People are saying, this guy is wild. Life is wild, sweetheart.
Yes, and no one rewards you for being nice at a war. Like there is no trophy.
No.
And when I read about how other militaries fight, when I read about how the Red Army fought the Germans, don't have to go that back in history. When I read how ISIS was defeated in Iraq and Syria, when I read about the American-British operations in Afghanistan and Iraq, when I read about how the French fought in Algeria, they expect us to do a lot more than what they did, and I think we should just say no.
There is something that
instead of apologizing, we should just say no.
Here, because we have like a Western audience, but I think Israel needs to be crazy with the West.
I think Israel is part of the West.
No, needs to be crazy with the West.
Yeah, but it's like it's for their own good. The way I see it,
it is for their own good, but it's not something people want to.
I no longer look at national borders. I think this is becoming obsolete. I'm talking about Europe. There are like kinds of people. There is a kind of people who want to preserve Western civilization. Sorry.
No. Continue talking. I'm here. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm here. I hear you. Okay, continue.
Yes. So there is in the West people who want to preserve Western civilization, Western values, the free market, and there are people who want to destroy it. So the way I see it, the people who want to preserve it are my allies, and the people who want to destroy it are my enemies. And like I want to support the people who want to do it in England, in France, in Spain, in Germany. Like I don't view those nations as enemies. I also think that inside Israel there are people who want to destroy Israel, to subvert it. I think that most of the Bring Them Home Now movement is basically the Israeli BLM, unfortunately. They stole the voice of the hostage families and turned them into political ramming rod. So the way I see it is, there is already a civil war going on, and the wars like the Gaza war, the Russia-Ukraine war, they're all part of this conflict. The war is going. There is a war in the battlefield, but there is also a war of words, and we should be much more proactive in this war of words.
Other people. You know what? I just I wanted to say, like, I thought about joining the BLM this Saturday. I was considering it because I thought, like, to make sure that the war continues. So go support them. Show Hamas that Israel is gonna fall soon, so that they wouldn't surrender or bullshit like that.
You're much more extremist than I am.
Why? I say this is like a turn. Like, this is an important point. I just don't want them to feel like there isn't a chance for them to just wait and see and wait for Israel to fall. And so I want to give them that hope, and so I'm willing to join the hostage, blah 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 riots.
By the way, I just saw that Tim Pool posted that sources tell me Charlie is stable. Please God, like they're connected, so that's a good sign. Like they know each other.
But here's the look at what this is saying. Breaking male suspect from earlier is not the shooter. Like, this guy that was humiliated was not the shooter. Poor guy.
Yeah, but it's a chaotic situation, so I can understand it. Like, if he's really not the shooter, I feel bad for him. But he wasn't hurt. I think they just arrested him.
Yeah, but he had a very. It sounds like he had a very unpleasant arrest video because his pants fell off.
Yes, it's unfortunate.
They deserved it.
Every time you watch videos from American policemen, they have cameras on their chests, and every time you watch violent arrests, when there is meth heads or criminals, it's always so sloppy. So in the movies, it's always you have the right to remain silent. Everything will be used against you. Look for your head. It's like a dance. It's so elegant. And you see in real life, it's always so sloppy. So everyone looks like a schlemiel. And it's.
Shana is saying there are two places in the West, Europe and Great Britain.
I would argue that America is the West.
Yeah. Because I think it's true, because I think Canada, Britain, Australia are Britain. They're still Britain. America is its own thing now. And then there is Europe.
I would say that it's
but I wouldn't say America is part of the Britain bunch.
It a little reminds me of the world in around the 13th century, when you had the Eastern Roman Empire, which ostensibly was the Christian empire, but it was so old and corrupt and had low birth rates. And Europe kept defending it, but it was also very more and more skeptical of it, more also saw the transparency with its politics, saw how corrupt and obsolete it was. So I think that in a way, America and Europe right now is a little bit like Latin Europe and Orthodox Europe, like the Franks and the Eastern Roman Empire. And I think a lot of Americans are thinking that maybe Europe can be saved. Maybe I'm not saying I agree with them. I'm just saying their opinion. They said we saved the Europeans from themselves in the First World War. We saved them from themselves in the Second World War.
I need to share that. I have to say, I hate when I don't agree with his ideas and beliefs, but I will pray for him. What an asshole.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
It's saying by not saying.
Kirk. What an asshole.
It's exactly like Coldplay. As you said, he invited us Israeli women and said, okay, I see you as people. Someone doesn't see us as people. I see us as people.
Yeah.
Look how virtuous I am. Look what a wonderful human being I am. I see you as people. Look how amazing and enlightened I am.
Actually, I kind of want to watch a little bit of Yuri.
Although I don't think we'll do the whole video because it's already
No, it's not. It's late.
We should probably do it some other time.
Yeah, I just want to hear a little bit.
Yes.
Demoralization is a canary in the coal mine. When you feel that way, something is beginning. These emotions need to be studied. What do you think?
So what I was saying earlier is that if you look at Charlie Kirk, he's one of the figures on the right which believed in dialogue with the left. He wasn't like, the kind of extremist. I'm not even gonna even talk to you. He was a person who believed in dialogue. He was the bridge. He was the kind of right wing. So they attacked the right winger who was the bridge, who believed in talking to the left. So what kind of message will the American right wing get? That the person they chose to attack is the person who believed the most in a dialogue, who believed the most in bipartisanship in a way. So like I reached my hand to you, and then you shot me.
Yeah. And not only that, the moderates and the left, like the comment he gets, like I disagree with his ideas, and he's a bridge. And then on the other, like hate speech leads to.
Basically, the person they tried to murder, he was a debater. He wasn't an organ. He was a debater.
It wasn't like us. We're not debaters. We are like I don't see myself as a debater. Like I think you can have a conversation with certain people, but I'm not going to debate with idiots.
I have been to some formal debates, but like they weren't enemies. Like I was in debate with a nice guy. Unfortunately, I forgot his name. And we spoke about like what kind of Zionist are we? Like, do we agree with Kahana or do we not agree with Kahana? But it was like, but I am willing to have a conversation with anyone. I had some cordial conversation with Hamas people online. Like I told one guy, said, okay, I can't murder you right now. You can't murder me. There's nothing to be gained from screaming at each other. It's not gonna happen. Let's have a chat. I want to understand you. I'm not gonna change your mind. You're not gonna change my mind. Let's have a conversation. Let's just talk in the direct messages. Let's have a conversation, but it's not a debate.
That's different. It's not a debate.
Because that guy said like, if I see you, I'm gonna kill you, and I said, I respect that. I will
kill you too. Yes.
But right now, obviously, we can't do that. Right now, we're just
mutual.
Two guys.
There's nothing like mutual.
Right now,
love.
we're two guys, sitting in their living room in front of the computer, having a nice evening. Let's have a chat. Let's enjoy ourselves. And also had a conversation with the Houthi guy, like from Yemen, and he was very polite. He said, like, we believe that we have to destroy Zionism, destroy it. I said, okay, I believe that your religion is wrong, your prophet is false. And he said, okay, it's nice to know what you believe, because no Israeli ever told me what you Israelis believe in. I said, okay, now you have heard my opinion.
Yeah. Anyway,
but that's not a debate.
I want to say that thank you for your support, but you're weak. You were so easily pushed into changing your position and saying that America is its own thing. We changed in the last 100 years. It was, and now you pretend that like it was your opinion from the get-go. Clearly not. I'm just joking.
There's a lot of outside influence.
I want to say, I'm just joking. So this guy, Uri and Rebecca, seriously, you guys need more views. So yeah, thank you. Please share my
thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please share it with
I think we both eventually we're not ashamed of our ideas, and we want to be heard.
Yes, please share. Help us share our ideas, because the algorithms don't like people like us.
Yeah, with our exotic accents.
Yeah.
Subversion is the term, if you look in a dictionary or criminal code to that matter, usually is explained as a part of activity to destroy things like religion, government system, political, economical system of a country. And usually it's linked to espionage and such romantic things as blowing up bridges, sidetracking trains, cloak and dagger activity in Hollywood style. What I'm going to talk about now has absolutely nothing to do with the cliche of espionage or KGB activity of collecting information. So the greatest mistake or misconception, I think, is that whenever we are talking about KGB, for some strange reason, starting from Hollywood movie makers to professors of political science and quote-unquote experts on Soviet affairs, or Kremlinologists as they call themselves, they think that the most desirable thing for Andropov and the whole KGB is to steal blueprints of some supersonic jet, bring it back to Soviet Union and sell it to the Soviet military-industrial complex. It's only partly true. If we take the whole time, money, and manpower that the Soviet Union and KGB in particular spends outside of USSR border, we will discover, of course there are no official statistics unlike with CIA or FBI, that the espionage as such occupies only 10 to 15% of money, time, and manpower. 15%.
Which ironically enough, right, that's why they fell as well. Like part of it is what, like also Qatar, it's so easy to bring Qatar down. But they do so much damage. Uri, you are muted. Muted.
Sorry. Qatar is being protected and used by those elements in America which share the goal of destabilizing. Qatar is not independent. It's a weapon used by those same elements.
Yeah, but the USSR was kind of similar. I guess like it was more of it's too big to sustain itself, but I think Qatar will explode as well.
USSR was an actual power. Qatar is the tool of those who have power. Qatar has no real power of its own.
Yeah.
So it's possible to destroy this country in one evening.
Yeah, I just, Baruch Hashem, one day somebody would pull the plug of it.
If America stops protecting Qatar, Saudi Arabia will eat it instantly. They despise Qatar.
Qatar is not an asset. Qatar is not an asset. Take Qatar for yourselves, kill everybody there, and that's it.
Qatar is an asset for Iran. It's an asset for Russia.
And because I'm a feminist, start with another.
They are an asset, first of all, for the far left. You know, the people who want to subvert universities. Qatar is funding this.
Yeah, those are the useful idiots.
I just saw someone post that we need to prepare for big waves of aliyah from the United States in case we move in the direction of
maybe
like this
is the like the Russian aliyah was the miracle of taking Israel from the stupid leftist thinking to the whatever kind of right wing we have right now. Maybe the American aliyah would be the one that would bring us from socialism to capitalism.
Maybe. I like American Jews.
Like I see it. I have a vision.
First of all, these are educated people. These are wealthy people. These are people with tradition of labor. So
people who love money. They love money.
Yes.
Way more than people here, which is annoying. And
they love keeping their money. They don't like their money being taken from them and then used for weird social programs.
Which is annoying if all by itself. Like if you put them by itself, I don't like. It's not necessary that I love them too much. But if you blend them in here, that would take this area to a better direction.
Well, I think most American Jews are more left-leaning than the average Israeli.
Not social, like not money-wise.
Yeah, although there are many socialists. Like I saw Jews voting for these communist.
Also, they're gonna
in New York,
but they're gonna stay there. They're gonna stay there. They are the kind of Jews that would not move here.
Look, if it will become physically dangerous, they will flee. They will have no choice.
Well, then let's drown those boats.
Yeah.
It's like. Somebody would have to tell us like where are the communist boats, and then maybe there's gonna be a little bit of an accident. We don't know.
You're so extreme.
I want listen. What is more important, a boat or a country?
People.
Yeah, but the
People are
people
the
of a whole country or the people inside a small boat?
That's interesting question. The utilitarian approach or the individualist approach. It's in the brother Karamazov. They discuss it. Like,
but I think,
is it okay to torture one baby to save society? And someone said, it is okay to torture one person to save society, but only if this person is me. Only then I will agree to it.
Well,
there is a Russian author. Unfortunately, I don't think he was translated to English. His name is Pelevin, and he wrote.
But I want to say, like, they're really, like, I think, like, they're really capitalists. Even even the leftists there. I think, like, just like here, you say there is left and right, but there is no right. They have left and right, but when it comes to economy, they only have right.
They're human beings. They have the full spectrum of views. They have everything from, they have Haridim and they have like gay rights activists. They have right. They have left.
They're all capitalists. I'm telling you, they're all of them.
I don't think so. Like many of them are hardcore. Not many, but there are hardcore like leftist socialists.
Yeah, but those are
those
are the anti-Zionists.
They are, but if their life will be in danger, like look at this woman who was released from Iraq. She was anti-Zionist, hated Israel, but as soon as her life was in danger, to Israel.
Really? I think she probably still held the same opinions. I don't know. She was just brought in without people asking. Yeah, but it's because she's a citizen.
They brought her to the airport, and then they took her with a helicopter to the hospital. If I release her, I would have told her, okay, you've been released. You're in the Baghdad airport. You're free. Do whatever you want. Buy a ticket with your own money. I don't owe you anything.
But she's Coping is saying you should have you joined Rebecca's Discord? Okay, join people.
I was. It was strange. I was kicked out of Discord, even though I have never did anything with Discord. They were like told me I am engaged in extremist activities. Really? Without me ever doing anything on Discord, and I okay, I know when I'm not wanted.
What did you read something?
No, I use Discord exclusively during the Corona,
right?
To do games online. That's the only thing I ever did with Discord. Like I've never expressed my political opinions in Discord in any way whatsoever. 100 of the speech I did on Discord was about, goblins and dragons and trolls.
Right. Okay. Which everybody knows is actually like talking about Arabs and Black people. And...
Yeah, like actually, that actually happened to me in Facebook. One time I said that, they... He said, I wrote an adventure and someone said, obviously the goblins are an allegory for the Arabs. And I said, what kind of racist are you that it's obvious to you that the goblins are Arabs? Like, how is it obvious to you? Like, I'm not the racist here. You're the racist here if it's so obvious to you.
Yeah.
It's like one time someone posted, it is?
There is an update. I think so. It sounds like he is dead. CNN saying he's dead. Another person wrote, Charlie Kirk has passed away. That is tragic.
There is nothing on Ynet or CNN. I haven't opened CNN in ages. Let's see.
Me neither. I just saw it on X.
The only reason to check news is to see like in what ways are people being lied to. But no, I'm on the CNN homepage. Right
I agree with you. Dead. And we need to have another meeting where we talk about that because my parents were dissidents. I was taught from a very young age how to read propaganda, and I feel like it's such a shame that not every person went through that kind of training.
That's the problem. That again, because they educate people to be nice, and it's nice to be nice, but because when you are nice, you are defenseless against it. When you are nice, they see you as weak. And they use it. So I just checked. I don't actually. It says suspect not in custody. It doesn't say what his condition is. I think there are a lot of rumors right now.
You think so?
Yeah, and I in such cases I usually check for something official from official sources. like the police, the hospital,
Yeah.
you know, his family,
mean-
you know, someone like some kind of authority. Like when what was his name? Sinwar was shot. Everyone was like, yeah, celebrating, and I said, I want to hear it official. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna post it. I'm not gonna talk it until it's official.
Okay.
And like,
But
people,
I
here's
also
this
have to
photo.
say that like this awful image looking at Charlie Kirk getting shot versus looking at Sinwar getting shot. I don't know. It's like my brain, like it's like completely different
Sinwar
images.
getting
Like
shot, it's not awful,
Like
it's beautiful.
one is brutal and awful to look at, and the other is like watching butterflies. I don't know, like something nice and sweet.
My father always says there is nothing more beautiful in the world than the corpse of your
somebody just
you know no yeah it's okay. There's nothing more beautiful in the world than the corpse of your enemy. You know, not flowers, not a beautiful woman, not a painting. Seeing her, like seeing the body of your enemy. My father always says it. That's the most beautiful thing in the world. And so when I saw the photo of Sinwar, it was you know, it was satisfying. It was so satisfying. But I said maybe it's AI. Maybe it's a guy who looks like him. Like he had a whole this side in his head. And I said, I want to see dental records. I want some official statement. And when I got the official statement, and we actually saw people celebrating. We were driving back from Kibbutz Sufa, and we passed near Sderot. And people in Sderot were like dancing in the streets and waving flags and just, you know, hugging people. And it was like such pure joy, such celebration.
Okay, I think this is not a thing to talk about. Like when there is a killing, I have a celebratory life. This is not that kind of life. Like this is tragic. Yeah, here, this one says.
So yeah, like there are a lot of rumors right now, but
I don't know. It looks like it's. You think it's still rumors? Here, and also say breaking Charlie Kirk confirmed dead. Like that is absolutely devastating. It's scary. Like let's be honest, it is scary. Official. Yeah.
The first tweet was good. Like assassination culture spreading in the left. That's a very good point. Like before the revolution in the Russian Empire in the early 20th century.
And it's Charlie Kirk.
In one decade, it's like 3,000 assassinations. There were 3,000 leftist assassinations in Russia before the revolution in a decade. They would assassinate thousands of people. It was systemic.
Yeah, and the real shooter seems to be still on the loose.
Yeah. If the guy they arrested is completely innocent, and obviously, yeah, like an old guy, I feel bad for him, really.
Yeah, but
it happens, you know. It's like friendly fire. It's sad, but it happens.
Yeah, but like this is. Can you read? Like, let's read it.
Assassination culture spreading on the left. 48% of liberals say it would be at least somewhat justified to murder Elon Musk. Half of them. 55% said the same about Donald Trump. In California, activists are naming ballot measures after Luigi. I don't know how to pronounce his name. That's war. That's war.
He was sending a super chat for Shana saying that you are beautiful today. All days, actually. Thank you. Did you hear? We are beautiful. You are beautiful. No matter
it's good.
What you say. Words can
the natural outgrowth of left-wing protest culture.
Thank you.
And why? Why did they call it protest?
What? It's like assassination culture is spreading on the left. 48% of liberals say it would be at least somewhat justified to murder Elon Musk. 55% said the same about Donald Trump. In California, activists are naming ballot measures after Luigi Mingione. The left is being whipped into violent frenzy. Luigi Mingione.
Yeah, like in Super Mario?
I don't know who that is.
Really? You never played Super Mario?
Luigi,
the
yeah,
green
in
guy?
Super Mario, the Magiones.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
it is.
I have no idea what it means.
The left is being whipped into violent frenzy. Any setback, whether losing an election or losing a court case, justifies a maximally violent response.
It's not protest,
This is
it's
the
terrorism.
natural-
We should stop calling it protest. Protest it's legal. If
Where's
it's
the
illegal,
word
it's terrorism.
protest? Wait, I didn't even reach that word yet. You're jumping. Okay.
Spoilers.
This is the natural outgrowth of left-wing protest? No, jumping with passion. Again, okay. So that you, okay, on cue, jump in, all right? This is the natural outgrowth of left-wing protest culture.
Yeah. So
This
why
is
do
where
we
you're
call it
supposed to
protest?
jump in and say, this is not protest culture, this is terrorism. Again, we're gonna do it again. This is the natural outgrowth of left-wing protest culture. What's with you with the jumping?
Why
Is there such a delay?
Called it I think the delay is like about 2 seconds that we have.
All right, so I read slow, okay? Be focused. This is the natural outgrowth of left-wing protest culture.
So I don't understand why they call it protest. Like,
what do you mean?
It's protest is something legal. Protest is a legal action. It's terrorism. As soon as it becomes violent, as soon as you break laws, that is terrorism. You should call it left-wing terrorism culture. It's not protest. They don't. If you murder someone, that's not protest. That's murder. So I really dislike the fact that, like in Nepal, they had a revolution yesterday, but the media called it protest. So when people are chasing ministers around and lynching them, and when people are burning down the parliament, that is not protest. That's a revolution. Yes. When people are shooting each other, that's not protest. That's terrorism. That's crime. And like everything the left does is protest.
And also,
everything the left does is protest, and everything the right does is hate speech. So
which leads, ironically enough, when they protest and right-wing hate speech and left-wing protests both lead to left-wing terrorism.
But protest is legal. If it's illegal, it's not protest. You can't use the word protest to describe something which is illegal. Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
that is terrorism. And blocking roads, that is also terrorism.
Wait, read
burning
the comment.
cars, it's terrorism. I read it. I'm responding to it. Unfortunately,
no,
the media is
read
owned
it
by the
out
terrorists.
loud.
I did. Unfortunately, the media is owned by the terrorists. And yes, I completely agree, because if you block roads, if you burn cars, it's also terrorism. It's low-key terrorism. It's not murder, but it's still violence. If you break someone's window, that is an act of terrorism. It's meant to spread terror. If you throw a diaper at someone, that is terrorism. You do it to force your opinion by force, by violence. So that's not protest. Protest is being seen, being heard. As soon as you break the law, you are no longer a protester. You are a terrorist.
Which, you know what I also dislike? The fact that they can get 200,000 people out in the street. That doesn't make them the majority either, right?
No.
There is like a fair way. People went out and voted. You can't just because you make more noise than you are more people, you are not.
And let's be honest, a lot of people who are there just there because it's a spectacle. A lot of people on the streets, it's a spectacle. People go just to look at it. It's an interesting thing to see.
Yeah, it's like we got to the point where entertainment is, people are so fed up with traditional entertainment where they go back to the good old lynching down in the town square.
Mm-hmm. So when I say 200,000 people came to the protest, it doesn't mean 200,000 people actively protested. They were just there.
Yeah, a lot of them do. And but they think that it matters. Sorry, if there is something that is that there is it's a question of yes or no, and it's 49%, it's still 51% that's saying the other way. Like it looks a lot in the streets, but it's not.
But on the other hand, imagine that you have elections and 51% vote to eat the other 49%.
Okay. Yeah, 100%. Definitely. I think here, like and that is such a mayhem.
Since we have internet problems
tolerating violence and mayhem for years on end. The cowardice of local prosecutors and school officials have turned the left into a ticking time bomb. Here's the thing, it's also the language they use. They wouldn't admit that it's terrorism. Like, they wouldn't call terrorists. They're just not doing that.
Because
and
subversion,
it's been conditioning. I have several videos on that I made, like why October 7th happened, and then I bring up, like I said, the media. Like 100%, they never called terrorism by its name. They don't do it. They don't call it what it is.
What I said earlier about elections, imagine that you have elections and 51% vote to eat the other 49%. So obviously that's not something that's going to happen. So like that is the limit of democracy and of a republic. Like you can't just do everything by mob rule.
The great and even legendary.
That's not an official source. We have to wait for something official.
No, it's not. It's from Truth Social. You just copied it.
Yeah,
it's you want to see like the official one because I retweeted it. But it's okay. There's
okay. I just saw it on Fox News, so that's official now. Unfortunately.
Yeah, the great and even legendary
Charlie Kirk
is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. By the way, 100%, 100%, 100%.
Yes.
Like yes, it was a mild right-winger as far as I'm concerned, but 100%.
Because he was mild. He was a debater. He was the bridge. He was the man who spoke to everyone.
Yeah, exactly. But here's
he was the moderate.
But I like the thing is like this is why I say please like our audience, those who are here. You see where we're at. Like consider coming to our dark side of no longer a bridge.
we have cookies.
Well, we have a lot of reality doses.
Yeah, that's very sad. You know, that's really I'm really bummed to see this news.
Yeah.
I was kind of hopeful. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hopeful a little bit too, but I think it's.
But yeah, from the start we said it doesn't look good. Like we saw the injury.
Yeah.
And I thought today would be like a boring conversation about a 50-year-old lecture, but in the end,
it's not.
Unfortunately,
it's not
we had breaking news.
So relevant. No, I'm sorry, but like when you see things that you were warned about 50 years ago happening in front of your eyes, like.
Yeah, it's really depressing because we want to talk about. It's like the thing we want to talk about happened in front of us in real life, in real time.
He was loved and admired by all, especially me. And now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. I think it's a good time to say RIP, and may it be a turning point for the better, where we.
I think it will be because people have to give it meaning.
Yeah, I think I feel like I can trust America. Like I wouldn't say it with a lot of places. There are other places where the same thing could have happened, and I would say this is the beginning of the end.
Like in the Netherlands, they married one right-wing politician after the other. In the Netherlands, they married Theo van Gogh, just straight up murder. Nothing happened. People didn't do anything.
But that was the beginning. That was like basically another nail in the coffin.
Yes.
But I just feel believe or just believe that
What
America.
concerns me, and I said it as a right winger, as someone who is a great supporter of America, of American ideals, of the American right wing, is that what I'm afraid of, and I hope I'm wrong, is that there will be like a Franco-style overreaction, like that it will lead to a response.
I think that when it would happen in Europe, this would be the reaction in Europe, because they really wait to the point where this is the only reaction that is left. But I don't know. I trust America. God bless America.
We'll see. Yeah, God bless America.
God bless America.
That's very unfortunate, and it came so close after people were really outraged by the murder of Irena, the Ukrainian refugee, by a person who was released 14 times, and people are already really mad. So like, it's not putting petrol into fire; it's throwing a dynamite into the fire.
I think the only thing is like now is like really like honestly, like as a creator who talks about those situations exactly, I like maybe more people would be willing to listen to our side now.
Us.
Yeah.
And I just opened the CNN page, and it says conservative activist Charlie Kirk killed, not murdered. They said killed.
Yeah, not like.
Notice the choice of words. And like I promise you that you will not hear the word murder. They will not. They will say assassination. They will say slay. They will say death. They will not say murder. They will not use the word murder because they don't want to humanize us.
And worst of all, they wouldn't say what it really is. If they wouldn't say it's terrorism, and they wouldn't say that it's the dying of democracy.
So say it's a fiery but mostly peaceful protest.
Exactly.
And then they will tell us that right now koalas are being vaccinated against chlamydia, and that's what we should focus about. Roll over point.
Amen. All right, everybody.
Yes.
I think we can wrap it up now. And RIP. And I just I feel like it's so important to not minimize it. It's way beyond like it's because it's a manifestation.
Yeah, I think it's the most important political assassination.
It's like it's like the roots are there, and now you see this one mushroom that you think it's a lone mushroom, but the whole ground is already like the whole forest is already this mushroom. It's just that you see.
I hope so, because
but it's already
as I said, you need organizations. You have the passion, you have the feelings, but is there the organization? Because all these leftist organizations have been funded and organized for basically 60 years. I hope we have some kind of response to that.
Maybe let's do that. Let's think how we do that. It's so funny because our side is so individualistic by nature.
And poor.
But mostly individualistic, let's be honest. Not really poor.
We don't have some kind of Soros rule.
I think you cannot win if you do not get out of your comfort zone. So I think it's kind of we should we should really think about it seriously. Like in the end of the day, there is nothing that stopped us from organizing the way they did. I even know people who have money. Just need to convince them. All right. I think we're stuck, so I'm gonna wrap it up and say good night, everybody. Join the fight. Fight on. Let us not underestimate the meaning of tonight.